Thank you, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Shift, simply helping individuals to find their true passion, their purpose. We share it through our stories, our talents, our truth, our togetherness, and you are here. Thank you. Today, I want to focus on give. To give so that we can actually receive what we're looking for. Sometimes in order to get what we need, we have to give it away and we don't even know that. Give stands for, I'm the acronym lady, to have great investment to add value to everyone. And we may not recognize that we have something to give until you actually give it away. I recently had a gentleman called me up and he goes, "Oh my God, Palmonia, I just finished your book. And you had me in tears. You had me crying." Now, that really threw me for a loop because this is a military guy. And if you know guys who are in the military, they're tough. They don't really cry. And he said I had a highlighter, I was marking, I was, and he could quote. He actually got my book. And he said, "This is what kind of touched me." And it's like from there on in, everything else in the book was just given to him what he needed at that point where he was. So a little bit of my focus today is to encourage you to give as you're shifting. Our concept behind shift is to keep in mind a clock that has the hour hand, the minute hand, and the second hand. And the second hand has to do 60 small moves before the minute hand can do one move. And then the minute hand has to do 60 small moves before the hour hand can do one move. So our focus on shift is not about quantum leap. It's just being consistent in the little things that you can't even see, because we never see when a minute go by. I've been talking to you now for like about 2 minutes and you didn't see that was like 120 odd seconds that shifted. So we just want to focus on the tiny things that when you look back eventually the result will be huge. But to be consistent in shifting, I want to share a passage from my book. My name is Palmonia Gordon. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm a mom. I have a background in corporate America. And after 23 years, I picked up my bag to go to work one day and the thought of going postal made sense. And I knew I had to shift something. I had to shift first my thought of, can I afford to do without this great pension and the great benefit? Because if I didn't have that shift occur, I promise you I would not be here talking to you right now. That's how bad it was. That shift led me to my book. That's how I was able to actually write my book, because it forced me to shift my way of thinking and to start look at, okay, what it is do I do? What else do I have to give? What can I give those around me? What do I give those around me on a regular basis? And that's what I want you to focus on through this episode and going forward. What do you have to give? Do you bake cake? Do you clean houses? Do you make cookies? Whatever it is that you do it your way, but it's important for you to recognize that that's who you are and that's what you do and that's your gift. My shift is talking and writing. I love pen and paper. I've always loved pen and paper. But I'm going to read to you what the gentleman read to me when he actually called me up. It's in my book, which is entitled Order It. You can get it from my website at palmoniagordon.com, or you can click on the link below, go to my website and go there, get your book. But it's called Wisdom from My Journey. It says, if you must experience something, let it be love. Never be ashamed of it. Let it flow out of you and into every crack, every hurt, every pain you have kept hidden from the world and those closest to you. Allow it to soothe, heal, and liberate you from the negative and move you into the positive. Before you know it, you will be able to help guide someone, anyone, out of their pain, their shame, sorrow, or darkness, because the love that flows out of you becomes natural healing. Now, the backdrop to this story is about me falling in love. I fell in love with this man. He has no idea that I'm in love with him, but loving him caused me to see myself in a new way. And this chapter is chapter 11. It's actually entitled Naked and Not Ashamed. And it's focused on me coming to my truth, me shifting into my truth that allowed me to look at men in a positive way, because I'd never really seen them like that before. I had a lot of hurt and anger where men were concerned. Men to me were destroyers. They weren't protectors. They weren't givers. They weren't who they are naturally supposed to be. So I had to shift into a space of recognizing that because I was hurt and broken, I couldn't see that. I wouldn't allow myself. And once I started shifting, once I started loving, once I was not ashamed to say, yeah, it's okay, I love him, it don't matter, I started to realize that it was okay for me to give love, and that I am not necessarily expecting you or him to love me in return, because it was a great investment to add value to everyone. And most of all, the greatest value it was adding was to me, because it was shifting me on the inside. It was making me a little tender, a little bit softer than I had been. People who know me or may see me and know me up close may think I have this iron wall up. But that's a part of the hurt, and many of us find ourselves in that position. So I'm going to ask you to give something, anything. Hi, how are you? That's giving something. That's opening up yourself a little bit. Because when we open ourselves a little bit, what we need is able to come in. And that's the challenge with us, why it's important for us to shift. If we don't open ourselves and allow anything to go out, it's almost impossible for anything to come in. And we need stuff to come in. We need good stuff. We need healing. We need love. We need affirmation. We need confirmation. We need truth. We need the stories. We need our talents and our truth to come to us and says, oh my gosh, yeah, I remember when I liked this as a child, but then this happened and kind of broke. But forget what happened. But remember what you loved as a child. Remember what you were passionate about, and get back to that. Get a copy of my book if you don't already have one. Click the link below. Go to my website. I have free resources. Connect with me. Leave your comments below. I know a lot of you have been sending me messages. Hey, Palmoney, this is great. You should be in Hollywood. I'm like, okay, give Hollywood my number. Tell them to give me a call. But I just want us to give, because I want us to shift into a better tomorrow, a new you. The world is waiting for you, and I am too. I love you. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again on the next episode of Shift, something where we're simply helping individuals to find their true purpose, their true passion through our truth, our thoughts, our talents, our stories, and just being together. I love you.